smile.
Hey, Jay, how's it going? Good to see
Pleasure,
you.
pleasure,
Good to see
pleasure.
you. Yeah.
Chris, I'd like to thank you for joining today, the Big Business Better Book broadcast. Now, I know you've had a little background into what this is all about, but let's just talk about it, right? Business is big. Books are better. Broadcast to the population. We get it out there. Really, this is what we're trying to do. We want to spread the word. We want people to find the books. We want people to take a look. We want Peter Pan to find his Captain Hook. So basically what this is we're getting to our goal and we're helping people find happiness. And that's what you're here for today. What's your name?
Chris.
With a K or with a C?
CH, but it's really whatever you want.
Does anybody ever call you Topher?
No, the only person, I mean, that's, what's that 70s show? What's the Topher Grace or whatever? He's the only Topher I know, but...
so you watch Frankie and Grace?
Yes.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you do for a living?
Yeah, I work in finance operations for an investment firm.
Can you read?
Some words, but primarily, yes.
If someone says, read between the lines, what does that mean? Because there's nothing there.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a metaphor, which I learned that word back in 3rd or 4th grade.
Is that different than a meta 3?
It depends on the spelling.
Do you know about Facebook? Because you said meta.
Facebook, yes, that's one of the socials.
Yes, but Meta World Peace was Ron Artest, and he played for the Lakers, which are in Los Angeles, which means the city of angels.
Gosh, that is probably the most profound thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
So, are there books on investments?
There are. There's, I highly recommend reading Warren Buffett, his predecessors. There's tons of financial knowledge information out there.
So you touched on something I was going to ask you about a little later. So I'm glad you got there first. You said Warren Buffett. Now, Warren Buffett, from what I have read, I can also read, has told the population about how to invest. And he's been, deemed one of the greatest of all time.
Right.
So is it fair to refer to him as Warren G?
Oh, gosh.
And let's take that a step further. If he is Warren G, one thing that I've heard from Warren G is he asks the regulators, because in investments there's a lot of regulation, right?
There's tons.
Okay,
yeah.
So you have regulators. So what does it mean when Warren G says regulators mount up? Do people ride horses in investments?
Yeah, those would be the Rough Riders. And
that makes so much sense.
Yes. Are you sure you don't have any skin in the investment world? You sound pretty knowledgeable.
Well, I write children's books, so I know a lot about a lot of different things. Sometimes I know a little about a lot, but there's not a lot that I don't know about a little.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so let me ask you something. If somebody was to invest in alligators,
okay,
does that make them an investigator?
Oh gosh, I've never really thought of it that way. I believe it would.
What is the difference between investments and breath mints?
And you said breath mints?
Breath mints.
You said that one more time?
What is the difference between investments and breath mints?
Oh, breath mints. Breath mints. Like Altoids. Well, you can invest in Altoids. Those are investable assets as well. Really, you can invest in your money in literally anything. So I guess there's not much difference at all. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so you're wearing a vest.
Yes.
What is it called if someone wears a vest when they're investing?
Oh gosh. I don't know, but obviously finance pros have to kind of wear this kind of thing. It becomes your personality when you work in this business.
So you become better.
Yes.
Better. If you wear a vest.
If you wear a Patagonia vest, your credit score jumps up 50 points immediately.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. If you wear a vest while you're investing, does that mean you're vested?
Yes, you would be, in fact.
So if you were to wear that vest you're wearing right now while you were vesting and investing, and you zip that vest all the way to the top, at that point, are you fully vested?
You'd be fully That would be a full, that would be a full transaction. That would be a full investable transaction.
What is the difference between
Yeah.
a trade and a swap?
Trade a swap. Well, swaps. Well, are you talking about credit swaps or trade credit swaps, or what kind of swaps or trades are you talking about? It depends on the asset or currency.
Okay. Well, can you swap a trade?
I guess in theory you can, but I think you're talking about two different kinds of transactions.
Let's take this in a different direction. What is fair?
What is fair in life? I would associate that word with, the likes of equality, justice, fairness.
Justice for all.
Justice for all, fairness for all, equality. Yeah.
Is it fair if you go to the county fair to have to pay a fare just to get in there?
Gosh, that doesn't sound very fair at all.
No. So my question is, if you're at the same fair that you had to pay a fare to get into that fair, and you get there, can you trade a funnel cake for a turkey leg, or is that considered a swap if it was outside of the Renaissance area?
That's going to be, first of all, it doesn't sound very fair to begin with, but it's going to, in my expert opinion, it would be a swap. Yep.
A moment ago, we talked about what is fair. What is best?
What is best? What is best? I would say best is just being your best self.
Is your best self different than me, myself, and I in a place where I feel that I am best, but believe that I could be better because I believe in myself?
I mean, I think that's just what we call confidence, Joe.
Is it? My last guess smelled like confidence. Well, that's what he said the smell was. He definitely smelled. I'm confident about that. So, to be your best self, you need to invest. Is that fair?
Yes, you need a dollar cost average of the S&P 500 over the span of 20 to 30 years at a minimum.
So you said the index, but then you also said over a span of a certain amount of time. Do you invest in spandex?
God, no, that's a genius. I mean, frankly, with the yoga pant movement right now, I mean, it's a sure win to the moon.
Because everybody can wear yoga pants.
Right. Even men wear it now, apparently, I hear.
Yeah. That's a great point. So
it's good for your back, too.
It is. Compression. No, I understand. Compression, you can get compression pants, compression shorts. Well, let's compress this for a minute. If you want to invest in something that will make you happy, but also help someone else be successful, what would you suggest investing in?
I think knowledge. And there's no better knowledge than reading. There's no better reading than Joe Garrick's children's books.
I don't have anything else to say. One further question. What is a persimmon?
Did you say persimmons?
Just one. What is one persimmon?
One persimmon?
Yeah.
I believe a persimmon is a type of either a vegetable, is a type of tomato.
It's not a fruit?
Well, a tomato is a fruit technically.
But it has seeds. That's what makes it a fruit.
Is that the distinction?
I think there's books about this.
Okay.
What is the best book?
Oh, well, my favorite is Whose Hoop Is That? It's also my kid's favorite.
Your kids must have knowledge.
Yes.
And you work in investments.
Yes.
So you're smart.
I mean, I'm not smart, but I have to pretend like I'm better than everyone else, yes.
But you're confident.
Confident.
That's what your smell is, your confidence.
Right, yes, correct.
So, if I take my dog for a walk, and he rubs his foot on the ground, I know it's his hoof, but is he rubbing his confidence so everybody knows how confident he is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like a biological reason for that, but I would think that you're correct overall.
Let's do a little word association.
Let's do it.
Just the first things that come to your mind.
I do this with my therapist all the time.
That's great.
Yep.
And for HIPAA purposes, we won't discuss or disclose your last name or who your therapist is.
Oh, sure, that's
It's fine, but no, it's good. We should talk about these things. That's serious. We should. We need to be better about ourselves, and this is a great way to do a serious moment. But let's get back to word association here. What is the best type of cheese?
Gouda.
Gouda. If a sharp cheddar is too sharp, can it cut you?
It's going to have to be a sharp slice, but yes.
Eggs.
Bacon.
Breakfast.
Sandwich.
Biscuits.
Gravy.
On your shoe.
Dog poop.
How would you clean that?
Pressure washer.
4 score.
From 7 years ago.
2 4.
6.
That's good math. 4 to 2 divided by 1.
42 divided by 1?
Yes.
42.
That is also true. Do you have to be good at math to work in investments?
No, you really don't. That's the funny thing, because Excel does everything for you.
So you excel at Excel.
Gosh, you're quick. Yes.
Do you know the difference between effect and affect and which one you should use when?
Yeah, effect is when you're in, cause and effect. You're impacting change. Effect is more, I don't really know the difference. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you, neither do I.
Yeah.
I stick with the word impact.
Impact
is great.
It's more impactful.
Yeah,
Right.
and it feels like it's something important or
Yeah. I think effect
extremely
is,
important, like the questions.
Yeah, I think effect is there's more like a emotion, affectionate. There's an emotional connection behind it.
Okay. I think the best books have a good effect to them.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Well, you have to create that emotional connection.
Yes.
That's how you build followers. Yeah.
Why is it when you hold 2 magnets against each other, they won't connect?
That's science. Because of science. Because they're polar opposites. Is that right?
Oh, so one magnet is from the North Pole, and the other is from the South Pole.
I mean, yeah, and the equator is somewhere in there as well. Yes.
That's kind of like 98 Degrees and Rising, right?
Is that the name of an album?
It was a group.
Oh, sorry, group. Yeah, they're part of the boy band generation.
Yeah.
98 Degrees.
What was your favorite boy band?
Oh gosh, that's next question, please. Thank you.
Okay. What was your second favorite boy band?
Oh gosh, Backstreet Boys.
Okay. So let's assume that the first was in sync.
Okay.
People are typically better when they're in sync. Couples are better when they're in sync, right?
I would have to. I don't dispute that.
But isn't your house worse if there are dishes in your sink?
In your sink. Gosh. Yeah, that's why I try to hand wash everything immediately after eating.
That's true.
Rather than just letting them stack up and then having to load them in the dishwasher later.
Yeah. Do you think it would make sense to have a children's book about sinks?
Yeah, and you could call it, well, now you couldn't call it in sync because they're copyrighted.
Yeah. What if I spell it different?
Yeah, you could do that.
What's your favorite children's book?
Oh gosh, probably. I mean, like I said earlier, Whose Hope Is That?
You did say
for
that.
sure.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I do like to hear it, but I thought I wasn't sure if I had already asked you that. If you were going to tell me or suggest, a topic to write a children's book about, what would it be?
I would something that teaches values, teaches self-worth, teaches how to overcome obstacles.
Okay.
So really, just something that starts out with a simple message that can be taken back and used in everyday life.
I like that. Would it make sense for that message to be in a bottle, or does it need to just be in the book itself?
Yeah, I think I was speaking metaphorically. I said that. Yeah,
Metaphors, not metaverse.
Or meta 3.
Because hold on. This is one last question. Now that we talked about this, I meant to ask this earlier and just came back. Is a metaverse like a verse you would lay down, like 16 bars, like in a track?
Metaverse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the world. This is a verse you want the world to hear.
That's like a new cyber. That's like a new cyber kind of Facebook social meta thing, right?
Oh, so like cyber securities.
Yeah. No, well, it's not that. Well, that's part of it, I'm sure, but the metaverse.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about.
But I appreciate the confidence.
Yeah.
Or the smell. Whatever the smell was, that smell
was
coming from you.
For me, it's Old Spice.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank you for joining the Big Business Better Book broadcast today. I hope you feel that you are a better person and you have bettered the world and made better people, because big ideas come from big business and better book business. And if we have better books, we have big business that we can talk about. So thank you for being on this broadcast today so that we can basically entertain or make everyone else better.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do feel better. Better than most people now, in fact.
And one last question for you.
Yes.
You know, sometimes life hands you lemons, which have acidity, which can burn your eye if it gets in your eye, but it makes great lemonade. If you're ever caught between a rock and a hard place, what would you do?
It's funny you should mention that. I was actually in the mountains this past weekend, and I saw a rock. I think it's a rose quartz, but I thought of you.
Wow.
And I'm not an archaeologist by any means, but I mean that could be a prehistoric dinosaur tooth as well. Maybe a saber. I don't know.
This could be a good idea for something to start with. And you do work in investments, so to say you're not an archaeologist, like.
Yeah, and we value things, and I'm it's yours now to keep. So take that to a, I don't know, someone who appraises gems. See what that's worth.
Smells like confidence. I feel better that I have this rock.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you. It's solid, as I feel this conversation was today.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, fortified over probably millions of years.
You know, we bettered the world today.
Yeah.
And this is a piece
Fully
of
agree.
it. And this is a piece of it.
Yeah.
So thank you. You know,
I'm just glad that you liked it.
This has been a pleasure. Do you mind if we let's just
a little tap right there?
That's it.
Thanks.